Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. Today is anything but normal. We'll touch on that a little bit later. Today's Monday, so we're Momming It Monday. I've got Mame Crypto with me. We had a wonderful time in Utah. We're going to touch on that and a lot more. So we'll be right back after this quick break. Hi, Mame. It's good to see you again. I just got to see you this weekend. It was so wonderful, but great to see you again.
I know, me too, Lisa. It was, super exciting seeing everyone, you, Bitcoin Ben, Dora, Lotus, Charlene, meeting so many amazing new people as well. I feel like every time we travel, we make so many great friends. So I'm still under the spell of the event, I would say.
Yeah, I'm still have my stack of people that I want to catch up with. Michael, the guy that was doing this stuff with the real estate, the guy with the information about, I won't even say that 3-letter agency that I despise, that he had some strategy on. There's also the NFT movie. We got to see the preview for we got to see we were the first people to see the trailer for the NFT movie. And I got to meet Jeff from that crew. That was really exciting. Gosh, there's a whole stack of I had a whole stack of cards that I've got to go through and reconnect with everybody.
The technology stuff, the clear phone, which I thought it
Yeah.
was really interesting too, because it doesn't have a SIM card. It's like a completely decentralized phone service. I mean, including the hardware. I'm, very curious about that too. Raven Coin was there, and I didn't know much about them, and then I learned a lot about their, smart contracts and NFT capabilities. And I really loved how you can actually integrate the file into the metadata. So that's also something unique there. I thought that was interesting. It was fantastic. It was really a great event. I'm happy we did it. The university vibe was also amazing, to see the students passing through with their backpacks and our little bees throughout the campuses.
Yeah, they
And
had little Bitcoin signs all over the campus. So they'd say, follow the Bitcoin
follow
sign. And
yeah.
I
And
really could have had it even go longer. I feel like I didn't even get to, I missed the Raven Coin presentation because I went to a different presentation. And there were so many great speakers there and so much great information. It just was really a great.
for
And Miss Teen
sure.
Crypto was there.
Oh my gosh, it was so wonderful. I love her speaking, and I learned so much from her. She gave me so many great ideas now that I'm tapping more into NFT. So it was great to get all the feedback from her. I mean, it was just, you were right, because there was so much packed in a day. I feel like that could have been a 3-day event.
Yeah.
Because it was like really, really resourceful. So Charlene mentioned that they are working already on another event in Utah. It's going to be in April, and it's possibly going to be divided into more days, which is awesome. And plus, there was the magazine. I mean, I didn't expect the magazine to turn out this amazing. It's just like amazing, you guys. I think they still have 50 signed copies to be sold. We signed, everybody that was there, everybody that presented in the conference, we signed 100 magazines. So there are physical copies signed that you can purchase at Utah bitcoinsummit.com. And that is a digital version as well. And
yeah, I'm pulling up the link to share the digital version. I'm going to send it to my computer and be able to share it in the chat. I'll also put it in the description
I
Give me
think
just.
of it as a slice of time, because I do think that, there is so much innovation, so many great articles here, marking the era that we are, transitioning into Bitcoin, becoming legal tender in countries. And, there is a lot of talk about energy and Bitcoin. You have, NFTs. So on its birth stage. So this is the first edition, and I think it is going to be coming out quarterly. So really
Yeah,
excited
this was the
about that.
first edition of this magazine. This was also a historical conference. This was the first conference that's ever been sponsored or put on by a college. First ever Bitcoin conference that's been sponsored or put on by a college. So that was also a historical
Yeah.
event. So I put it in the chat. I'm going to go back in and right now, my first link is the one to join us in New Jersey at my next meetup. We'll be celebrating my birthday, and I'll be giving the presents away to all of you guys. So that information is the first link to go to clintwestwood.net for more specific instructions for the address of where we're meeting and all that. But the next link will be where you can get a digital version of a tokenized version of the magazine. And I was going to have Cannon run it in here for me. She did a really beautiful job. She asked me to write an article, and I wrote kind of this passionate letter to America, and she really put some beautiful artwork. She did an American flag behind it, and it was a picture of me standing there speaking. And it's just something where I'm like, warning America, the US dollar is no longer the world reserve currency. It's time to get our assets in our own possession. And with all the chaos that happened today, I feel even stronger about that. So there's beautiful artwork. Mame, you took this conference to another level by engaging the art world and bringing amazing artists, Dora and her granddaughter Lotus, to the event and bringing their artwork and your artwork. I was so blessed to be able to be the new caregiver of some of the creations that you made. You're
You,
sitting.
I'm so excited. I can see them in your background. I love it.
I'm
Lisa,
going to redo my whole office and have them put up. I just haven't had time to I have to measure everything and make sure it's all.
you like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna do it too. And but I was so excited because this piece is special. It won it was one of the winners of a contest inside Bitcoin Talk, which is a very special forum where early Bitcoiners gathered to talk, even with Satoshi at the time. And the guardian of this forum, Timus, he decided to do a contest celebrating the 10-year of Bitcoin Talk at the time. And I jumped in because I felt like it was kind of a fun, contest. And I was the only Brazilian to actually get, to be one of the winners, because there were many winners and category. I was not very high, but I was not very low. I was, in a good range up there. And it was really awesome because I received a prize from Timas, a Bitcoin prize for this piece, together with another piece. And, I have this transaction that came directly from Timos, and Timos has received the transaction from Satoshi. So I feel like I got some of Satoshi's Bitcoin on this.
Yeah, this is so
I'm
cool.
like, I almost touched Satoshi on this one. This piece is a representation of as close as I ever got to Satoshi. So
I think it's amazing. So it's like a double dip of history for me because,
yeah.
well, maybe a triple, because this is we were at this event together. This is something you created for that contest. And then you also have a picture of you and Charlie Lee holding it.
Yes, I don't know if it's that one or another piece, because I have
Okay.
two that I presented from this contest,
Yeah.
and the two got featured together, so, and I remember taking one to Las Vegas, so I gotta go through my old pictures. I gotta open my old computer and find what I have. But the cool thing is that I have all the record for everything that happened on Bitcoin Talk. So when it got submitted for and all the comments, this piece has comments and people and community around it. It's really interesting. So when I'm gonna create a record for you, an NFT record of this piece. And when I do, I'm going to include all these links on the metadata. So it validates that you have it and you're going to have that information recorded on a blockchain forever.
So is that something that we could create an NFT for that? And in that smart contract that you would always be able to benefit from it. And then we could maybe, I have the original and I have the physical, but we could maybe
we can collab, create an NFT. Let's say if you wanna to do like 100 pieces or something like that, we could for sure.
And then we could each benefit from it. And it could support the channel and support your work. And because you were helping get artists up to this event, we want to also be able to return to the event, in another 6 months. And it's quite a haul.
It is. Imagine we went on a small little Kia. We put all the artwork, we folded the seats and we had, you went with Bitcoin Band, so you crossed half of the United States this way and I crossed the other half this way. So we met half point. But I love the full experience. I'm one of those people that I love working hard, so if you call me, I'm going to be the one like, okay, if you need help, I'm there, and last minute things, count on me. Let's improvise. We'll make it happen. So
you're amazing. I mean, you really brought a lot of talent and you brought a whole nother aspect to the conference by bringing this artwork to the event. So I think it was just amazing. Really.
It's lovely. I got an invitation to take the artwork to Brazil as well, in a fair in a state that I love so much. So I'm going to see if I can make that happen. From there, I have a friend, Rodrigo, who was also there and who is making an amazing video of this conference, which we'll probably showcase, on our next show. We can showcase and give you guys the whole feel of the conference. But and he is doing a reality show in Brazil. It's a crypto reality show, and I'm gonna be doing the portraits of all the participants. So it's a lot of when we're gonna create NFTs out of this reality show. It's kind of a pilot that he's producing. So we have a lot of great things in the making. That's what I say to artists and people that, don't showcase their work. Put it on the internet, put it on social media, get it out there, get out of the house a little bit, or maybe call a local restaurant and see if you can display your artwork there. Because, I realized like I've been an artist for many, many years, but I had never sold a piece of art, but partially because I had never shown it to anyone too. So now I'm excited to share, and it's giving me so much more inspiration to create more and more. And seeing these custom jobs coming in, I'm super excited. I'm like, okay, now it gives me, let me think, let me add some watercolor, let me, so it's really exciting as an artist to see a field opening up.
Well, and I was excited. I mean, some of the college students were coming in and asking about some of the art pieces. I told you that one guy walked in and he just went straight for your lighthouse. And he was like, how much is that? I want that. I was like, oh, she's not in here. Hold on.
I know. But that one, I probably wouldn't sell it.
I know.
To.
He was very specific. He wanted this one.
But maybe in the future, I got to produce more art so I can let go of some pieces as well, because some pieces have deep meaning to me,
Yeah. Well, I'm very grateful to be the new caregiver of these pieces. I was just really excited.
You are. I tell them they're like little pets. I want to know where they are. I want to know if they're well taken care of.
Yeah, it was an amazing event. Charlene did a great job. And I think everybody felt really engaged and came away with a lot of great information.
Thank you so much, Lisa,
Really
for
great.
inviting me and connecting
Yeah.
us. I wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for you. So
Wow.
thank you.
You added so much value. So it was a great event. Hopefully more people will hear about the event and we can grow it, even bigger next
For
year. So,
sure. I have a
or
feeling
next
the
6 months.
next one is going to be, really, really. Today we were earlier on the radio station talking about the event, and you could
Oh, good.
tell, yeah, I think this is going to grow. It has good energy around it.
Yeah, definitely. So lots of Litecoin news. I was going back through what you had sent me and what I had sent you just over the last week. And there's, more news in gaming. They have a partnership with Juggernaut, which I'm not familiar with. Maybe I know you have do some gaming or have dabbled in some gaming. Um,
I think this is more of a product, maybe an energy drink,
okay.
and it has, maybe the logo or something like that. I'm not really sure if it's just like a marketing
Okay.
strategy, getting it out there, and just like similar to putting the Litecoin logo on the racetrack and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So it's more visibility. And with Litecoin, it's decentralized. So sometimes companies just do because they really love Litecoin and they believe in Litecoin, which is really cool.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Litecoin too.
Uh,
Where was the really big?
I thought it was interesting because I saw a tweet of someone withdrawing money in El Salvador, and I, of course, don't have confirmation that this is completely true, but it's mentioning that in El
That's pretty true.
Salvador, in addition to Bitcoin, you do have the option of Litecoin as well. So, of course, El Salvadorians that watch the show, let us know if that's really the case, interested to know and get a confirmation on that. But that video, it's kind of fun to see Litecoin right next to Bitcoin. I thought it was only Bitcoin because with Lightning capabilities, I thought a Lightning wallet would already be enough to offset the cost of the fees. But maybe it is the case because it is a little bit complicated using the Lightning wallet because you got to issue invoices. It's a little slightly different than just sending and receiving. So maybe the practicity of Litecoin is what is attracting them to make it legal tender as well. But I'm not sure. Like I said, this is just a tweet, and we watched this. I watched this morning, and I'm still
Mhm.
waiting on confirmation to see from other people that have used the ATMs over there. Let us know if this is the case.
Yeah,
We are
that's
interested to
pretty
know.
exciting. I thought I had remembered when it was first coming out that there were a couple of coins, that it was Litecoin, Bitcoin, and
Bitcoin
maybe
Cash.
Bitcoin Cash or something on the ATMs. But
Yeah,
now that's totally from memory. So, and my memory's not so great. So,
yeah.
um, I don't
And
know
then
if
you
anybody
had
in the chat remembers.
for Litecoin as well the episode of The Simpsons.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of fun
I
when
didn't.
because there are the Simpsons predictions, and some people do believe that they have some sort
Come
of
true.
magic power, and that they saw in the future, Bitcoin, Doge, and Litecoin, and Frink coin.
Frank Coin, yeah, the episode was, and it was, I guess, in last year's episode, and it was called Frink Coin, and
Frink
they had, am I sharing this? Yeah, okay, make sure I'm sharing it. And they had Litecoin and Bitcoin and Dogecoin, and I thought that was
Yeah.
hilarious. So, you guys go check that out. I'm sure I retweeted it. It's on Twitter, but let's see if it goes through and shows it.
And in addition to that, because we have more Litecoin stuff, we have the Mimbo Wimbo progress updates. So for anyone that loves seeing, Litecoin development and want to check out where it's at, there is a link to Litecoin Talk, which is a forum. You can go in and check the latest update. And looks like the code is ready for release, pending approval by one final reviewer. So the code was ready, it was being reviewed, it was being audited, everybody wants to look at it and see if it's functional. But it's already out there, it's moving along, and it looks like it's pending approval by one final reviewer. And once that's done, maybe it can be released and slowly, gradually be adopted by the miners, and then the capability would be there for us of adding privacy to transactions, and
That's pretty exciting. And the timing of this is perfect with what all is going on with
in
Facebook and
general.
all that. So
Yeah. So this is, it's a lot of interesting things. It's nothing that would be highlight as, major news, but it's like a ton of little interesting topics, surrounding Litecoin, that's for sure. And then what else did you send that was really interesting before we dive into?
yeah, I was just trying to stay on the Litecoin stuff before we go into the today's big.
Yeah, we have also a little bit of the, we could talk about Texas, being the ninth
Yeah,
largest
I think that's
economy in the
pretty
world.
significant.
And they are kind of embracing Bitcoin as a state. And Texas is a big state, full of resources. There is a lot of wealth in Texas, and that's what this article on Forbes is all about. And but it's saying how Bitcoin is, Texas is embracing Bitcoin and making, softening its regulations in a way to make sure that people feel like it could be, maybe it could be the next Florida, Bitcoin friendly, which is great because, we want to see more states becoming friendly with Bitcoin. The more, the merrier, right? In my opinion. And what else? Another interesting fact, I love this one that you sent. It was a little bit earlier in the week, but you mentioned that Bitcoin network back to full strength without central planning, just months after the CCP knocked out half of its power. So about a month ago, we were talking about how China banned mining in certain provinces. They are really having a issue with electricity and power and energy. So they want to cut back so they can provide energy to other industries. And I even wrote an article at the time how China mining dropped from like 75% of global hash rate to all the way to 49%, and maybe now it's even lower. I have to take a peek, I haven't had. But and then Bitcoin resources dropped suddenly, but it's just so amazing how it organically makes up for itself. So at the same time China is shutting down, other people in the world are turning on their mining operations, because once China drops, it becomes more profitable for other countries to do it, correct? So all of a sudden it became more of an even playing field. And that's my personal opinion. I feel that Bitcoin mining became more decentralized, and it could be the case that it became more profitable in other areas of the world as well.
Yeah, I would think that is a positive thing. The more decentralized Bitcoin is and out of the CCP, the hands of the CCP, that has to be,
Yeah.
a good thing for Bitcoin and for everybody involved. So, um, today we know that there was huge news. Everybody's scrolling, trying to refresh their Facebook feed. There's lots of rumors that your data is being sold on the dark web. I don't know if it's true or not, but there's rumors flying around about that. Here at the Davis household, we love PAC. We got involved in PAC. I met Jason, who we're going to bring on here in a second, at the New Jersey meetup way back when, I think in 2019 at a Bitcoin bin event. And my husband has been into PAC and we've been running PAC nodes for quite a while now, and really like the project, and we'll hear more about that. But the timing of this, so they just launched their Yan DNA, and where you hold your own. It's about data storage, and with this Facebook hack and this threat of everybody's data being out there on the dark web being sold, it just makes you realize how valuable your data is, and that what an asset that is. And even this weekend when we were at the event, I was talking with a guy about NFTs and what the difference is in, as far as the Howey test and what a security is versus a piece of artwork, and how you have to be really careful about, when you're tokenizing things, and even asking for someone's email in exchange of giving them something that is considered something of value. Your data is something of value. And so it's just really something we have to, in this new world, you have to understand how valuable your data is, and you have to protect that. So I think everybody's up to speed on the Facebook outage. It was also WhatsApp, Instagram. They're even saying that your Gmail could be attacked. My Gmail seems to be fine. I don't know if it's been attacked or not, but I'm able to use it and it functions. I think we're all exposed all the time, to be totally honest with you. But let's bring Jason on. And hey, Jason, thank you for joining us.
Hello.
I
Hi,
haven't seen
ladies.
you
How are
in
you?
good. Thanks for joining us. I haven't seen you in quite a while. But
Too
hopefully
long. COVID,
yeah,
right? My
hopefully we'll
goodness.
get to reconnect in Jersey again here in a couple weeks.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
so tell us a little bit about PAC and how you guys, I guess, got started. What PAC is by itself, and then we'll get into the Yon DNA and the
Sure.
importance of that.
Sure. Yeah. So PAC Protocol is a legacy network. We created our own blockchain. We're based off of SHA-256 as well as X11. And then we have our own wrinkles that we put in because we are a proof of stake coin with deterministic master nodes. We were first to market with that platform. We're very proud of that. What proof of stake did was it took us off of proof of work. It gave us an opportunity to more efficiently move blocks because proof of work, you're subject to hash wars and things of that nature. Proof of stake, the version 3 that we're using, is very stable, moves blocks very quickly and efficiently, and gave us stability that we needed. We're a masternode coin, which is very important for what we're doing with data, because masternodes run an active copy of the blockchain 24/7, 365 on a VPS. It's always running. It's always recording instant private transactions, as well as disseminating data and storing data on our network through our new product, Yon DNA. But our coin itself is a very quick coin in that our coin transacts in less than 2 seconds. It's validated on network by masternode quorums. So it makes it very easy to use our coin for a daily use case because you can spend it anywhere quickly and efficiently, and it gets validated right there with chain locks by our masternode layer. So we have multiple things we're working on, but our main focus now has turned to data storage throughout using interplanetary file sharing, IPFS, layered on top of our masternode network, in which we do another layer of distribution and decentralization through our masternode layer as well.
And your master nodes, we run several of them, and I've set them up. They're really easy to set up. They're just a couple of clicks. They run in like a pool or on a cloud kind of thing. It's not something you have to like manage every day.
Yeah, it's
Can you
great.
kind
It's
of
on
explain
virtual.
the simplicity of that?
Yeah, I would love to. And actually, we run our master nodes. You need 500,000 PAC coins as collateral. Okay, you get that collateral, you go, you download Yon Safe. It's the world's first automated master node deployment system in wallet in the crypto space. So we were the first to market with that. Our developer, Jan, he's phenomenal. He came up with the idea. He did an automated master node deployment where you only had 4 to 5 clicks total. Sign up for a virtual private server or VPS. We use Vultr. That's VULTR.com if you were looking to, inquire about the service. But yeah, we use Vultr. We have Vultr run the active copy of our blockchain. It's a second layer for us, and it allows us to do many things on our chain. A few of which are just, the things that you would normally see in blockchain: instant transaction, private transactions. But the biggest thing is now the data storage and being able to leverage that for our product. But masternodes in general are fantastic. They give you passive PAC for supporting the network, so you get 8280 PAC every pay cycle. Right now, it's right around 35 days per payout. And you get that payout for supporting the network and running an active copy of the network as well.
Yeah, and I really feel like these master nodes are, the future. That's that
And
everybody, back in the day, we used to be able to put our money in the bank and get interest,
so
and
Yeah.
that's gone away.
anyone
Go ahead,
could do
Michelle.
it. Anyone could do it using like a simple computer, or do you need any type of equipment to do so?
No, that's the beauty of what we do. So anybody, we like to say, hey, look, I could go get my grandmother, my grandfather to sign up and do this, because all you need is a laptop or a personal computer. You download the software from pacprotocol.com. You would upload the Yon Safe wallet. Once you upload that, it goes through the cycle of uploading the blockchain. Once it uploads it, and you send your coins to it, it's very simple and easy to set up, because you'll have your virtual private server doing all the heavy work. So people used to say, oh, well, it takes so much equipment. Well, this takes nothing. Realistically, all you're doing is paying for a $5 service for a virtual private server that runs 24/7. So that's what's doing all the legwork, so to speak, is the virtual private server. And we tie it in through the wallet as well as your device that you're using. So it's a pretty easy, seamless process that we've created. If you had been into masternodes in the past, it used to be a pretty tedious task, because you would have to get the terminal and you'd have to get your wallet and the virtual private server all to communicate at once. And that would be through code and putting in the proper terms to get everything to communicate and sync properly. So now we've changed it so as anybody can go in there and just do a few clicks and you're all squared away. Very easy.
Good to know. Thank you for this information.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
so
no problem.
that's just running the master node and getting that passive income.
And
But
I
then
run a
now,
beta node.
yeah,
Maybe I can dive into the pack. You see, I'm learning the baby steps for me on the mining.
yeah,
That's
and
good. Yeah.
then they've had this Yon DNA launch, and that is this new data storage. So, am I correct in comparing it to something like Dropbox, except on the blockchain?
Yeah, well, we are a competitor. We're look to compete with them here in the future, yes. And what it is we take the IPFS, and IPFS needs nodes. So we take our master node layer, we store the IPFS software on our network, and then we're able to take your data. So think of it like this, Lisa. If you get a movie that comes in, it's one big file, right? If I take that big file, that's say 5 gigabytes, right? And I break it down into 10 or 100 small, tiny files. Now that becomes very scalable, because I'm able to distribute it across our masternode network. And when you distribute it across the network, it allows it to be pulled seamlessly within the 2-second time frame that our masternode quorums interact with each other in. So we were able to use our master node layer coupled with IPFS to really make a very scalable storage product for data that's totally decentralized. And what that means is, like today, when we're talking about hacks that occurred, there was a central server that was compromised. So they got into a central server, everybody's data is on that central server. Our paradigm shift is we have your data set comes in as a single set. It gets broken down into just say 100 smaller data sets, and it gets distributed across the master node network with private keys associated with each splicing of the data or sharding of the data. So you have private keys associated with, gives you that extra added layer of security, because if I were to go and get and compromise one set of that data, I would only have one set. You need the entire data set to formulate the entire picture that you're looking to get or whatever you're looking to hack into. So our network basically makes it so as you can't compromise it with just hitting a single server. That data that you're getting from that single server is worthless without all the other pieces to the puzzle.
And this would be for documents, video, all kinds of.
Yeah, anything you can
media.
imagine you could store. Yeah, you could store
Okay.
anything within the network, just like you would Dropbox, your passwords, anything that you can imagine that you would feel comfortable, storing away. Financial documents, your birth certificates, all those things. Because with our network, you get the immutability of being stored on the PAC protocol masternode layer. So that gives you, again, that security of having the private keys associated with each small data set that comprises the larger data set. So, we've kind of figured out a way to put the power back in the user's hand, because what happens is when you upload your files to YonDNA, you actually own the metadata and hash associated with it. So that's great for, say, like the NFT space, because NFTs, if you actually don't own the hash of your NFT, you don't own your NFT. The person or the service that's providing you with the NFT owns the actual NFT. You're just renting it. So you've got a copy version 1, version 2, version 3 that gets disseminated across the web, but the original hash and metadata is still stored on that single server, which is a point of failure. So what we do is we take that NFT that, say there's NFTs going for $1 million. You take that $1 million NFT that has all that value, you store it onto our network. It's on IPFS and it's sharded and distributed across the PAC masternode network. Now that piece of art, that's $1 million piece of artwork, can't be compromised or hacked into, because it's now stored on a interplanetary file sharing system. And not only that, you actually own your metadata and hash. So you legitimately own that piece of art, which the current paradigm for, let's say, 70% of the NFTs is they're on single servers and you're at risk, just like Facebook was at risk of being hacked and all of your data compromised, and you no longer have possession of said NFT.
Wow.
It's very true. Yeah, that's a great, it's like a wallet, and you can actually input the file into the metadata of the NFT. So that way, even some platforms right now, you will issue NFT, but you can't insert the JPEG that goes with it, or you can't
Correct.
insert the video that goes with it. And therefore, the person buys the authentication, and then you got to send the file afterwards. They got to get in touch with the artist to receive it. And I thought that was really interesting, how you can embed the actual file into the metadata and just, from wallet to wallet, send everything in one package.
Yes, the way that things are changing and moving so quickly right now, as far as this field is concerned, is pretty cool, because it's going to really open up a lot of avenues for content creators and people who are looking to monetize their data. Right now, this is our beta launch. Our beta launch is just like a competitor to Dropbox. But eventually, Lisa, you'll be able to come in, upload all your videos, monetize your videos, sell them under your account for X amount of PAC or Yon
Wow.
token.
Yeah.
So you're essentially, every piece of work that you create and you upload to the PAC protocol network, it becomes an NFT. So any video you make and you upload the original metadata and hash onto our network, you've just created an NFT of your last streaming show. And that could be sold, whether you want to sell it as a distribution deal where somebody could come in and buy the entire thing for $1 million, or you could go out and you can sell each to each user $1 per view, 50 cents per view. Yeah, you could do it however you want. And when we get done, when this thing goes out of beta and we actually go full on live, you'll be able to do not only monetize, but you'll be able to go in and file share everything with anyone seamlessly throughout the globe. So right now, currently on our platform, if you were to go in and upload one of your videos, you could send that video to me seamlessly and simply by just going in on the I saw you had the screen pulled up before, Lisa, but you would just go in and
I had just it's a Twitter screenshot. I didn't know, should I go to
you could go to yondna.io if you want.
Okay.
And then if you create an account, I can share with you, and right now I could send you, let me do this. I'm going to send you a video, and if you want, you could play it and it'll be on YonDNA. Okay. Here's a picture of us out, and let me see. But yeah, no, the app right now is great because you could share right now. You can upload any of your data. You could share it with anybody that you'd like. It allows you to create a link. After you create the link, you just simply copy the link, and then I can go in and just send you, the information through a text, through Twitter, what have you. Today, I saw a lot of people on Twitter posting links from YonDNA. Clicking it goes right to your new NFT. I say that, but I don't say that lightly, because literally everything that you upload to our network becomes an NFT. It's a non-fungible token within the network. And that gives it real power and strength in that the network is empowering the people. So no longer is your data being sold to the highest bidder. We're not going to have advertisers in there bidding wars to get your data so they can then go in and do behavioral targeting to you and start pitching you products that maybe you had been looking up through Facebook's per se. And then they start targeting you. You start going through different websites. You start seeing that, oh, this sneaker website keeps following me everywhere I go. That's because I was just looking it up. And those are the type of things we want to take away from the corporate structure. And we want to allow people to say, hey, look, you want to, similar like Brave Browser, you want to advertise to me, you're going to have to pay me to look at your advertisement. And that's all going to be coming out when we come out of beta as well, where you'll be able to be paid for looking at advertisements and accepting those on your page.
Are you sending me this link in a Twitter message?
I'm going to send it right now.
I was just making sure it wasn't on my end.
No, that's really interesting. And then because it breaks down the information into tiny little files, you don't have to be concerned about the size of your video or how heavy it is. Mm-hmm. Right now, for example, if I'm emailing someone a heavy file, I have to use e-transfer, I have to use other applications to be able to do it. So this will enable me to do a seamless transfer in a way.
Yes, and you could send anything globally, unless literally I can upload my file. I can send it anywhere in the globe, and it gets there quickly, seamlessly, easily, decentralized, and distributed. So that's what, like you said, when we shard the data, break it down into the small pieces, that allows us to retrieve it quickly as well as send it quickly. And that's where the big difference is. And it also helps with, it does not affect bandwidth. And matter of fact, it doesn't, cost doesn't go up because of the way that we shard and distribute the data across the network. It actually is the opposite of the current paradigm for data storage. So we kind of, with our network in general, we created a totally scalable project that can essentially take on as much data as you can, throw at it, because the virtual private servers can be bumped up and extended as far as how much data you want to have storage wise. You can continuously bump it up, and then the way that we shard and distribute the data, that makes it an even more scalable product because it's on IPFS, which is already a file sharing product. So, there's multiple, like I said, layers of the scalability that we built into this product. It's all built for speed and security. So, I mean, our big thing is, like, I could take, for instance, I could go out to Hollywood. I could speak with people out there and I could say, hey, look, I could take all of your movie files that you've been hacked and you've been compromised on over the years. I could take those files, instead of you having to carry a physical server from producer to distributor, because you can't, take the chance of being hacked for millions or billions of dollars worth of assets. What we do is we allow them to now send it anywhere globally. You have 5 layers of security with the blockchain, with the masternode layer, your 2FA, biometrics, smart contracts, stating and matching my identity with my end user's identity to make sure that we are validated by smart contract that we are who we say we are. And we've built all of these things in so we can use our product anywhere at any time in any industry. We already are HIPAA compliant. So we have the RD application, which is made by Radiologics. They're already using the YON network to store all your medical data and information. So essentially, if, say, I were to get injured and break my leg, I would go to a specialist, I'd get x-rays, I'd then have to go to the doctor. When I go there, I would typically take a CD and I would CD-ROM and I'd go make a copy. I'd bring it back to my home doctor. Then I would take it to the specialist and whoever else was involved in it, right? What happens with this application is, and this is, you can get this on the Google Store or the Apple Store right now. You can upload it to just take a look. I could take that data now. As soon as that x-ray is done, it gets uploaded to the network. Now, all the doctors within that network that are going to be looking at my stuff have instant access to it right there. Not only that, there's DM built into it, so I can have digital messaging going on right there in that with all my doctors, specialists, what have you. And then as well as like video application as well, where we can get on a Zoom call type deal, all within the app. And everything, like I said, is HIPAA compliant. So this took us over a year to get to the HIPAA compliance end of things. But our blockchain and the masternode layer with the IPFS is such a strong, secure network that we were able to push through pretty easily to get the HIPAA compliance. Which
literally having a conversation with a guy for probably 20 minutes in the hallway this weekend at the Bitcoin Tech Summit conference this weekend about this, because having 2 medically fragile kiddos, I have like books this thick. And when we would go to the emergency room, and with our history of surgeries and all that, you go to the ER and you need to get your kid in the back door, and they're like, fill out this form, and they want me to list all their meds and their surgeries and all this. And I'm like, we need to like get behind the door, not deal with all this stuff. And if I could have had like some kind of NFT or PDF, something where it's like, scan this. And we talked about some of the issues of that, like, well, what if there's information on there? What if you're knocked out and you don't want to give all that information? And so you'd have to be able to like have something where you could update it and have something where you could give like permission, or there was something like, this is your emergency that people could access without if you were knocked out or whatever. But it have some privacy layers within that. But it's definitely a need, especially for people with those chronic illness or those long-term medical conditions, because this is such a huge need. I mean, so I'm just really excited to hear there's a lot of use case for what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and not to say that so many companies and so many medical, industries are getting hacked. I mean, recently I, was gonna sign up for a hospital to get a checkup, and I call and if you want more information about the hack, and I'm like, okay, never mind. Let me go to let me go to
Well,
somebody else. So just knowing that your data is decentralized, that it's not in everything in one server as well, and it's more protected. And just like you said, security is really needed. And right now we are in this wave of hacking and data loss. And for now, at least for now, decentralization seems to be the only solution, because there isn't one single server that you can attack. You're looking for, very strong blockchains to rely on. And before it was in the field of finance, but now we are diving into the data field, which is really, really awesome.
yeah, and we, the good thing about our product is, we do have the second largest masternode network globally, with just about 22,000 nodes decentralized globally. We touch just about every continent in the world. And we have a very, very decentralized network, as well as a very large decentralized network, which is very important when you're talking about being able to store massive, amounts of data and be able to effectively move that data from point A to point B. So, that is a real big selling point for us, is that we do have such a massive network. And that's because we have such a massive community of people that support the product and are very loyal to it. And they understand the benefits of passive PAC by supporting the network. And, when you start to move up a little bit in price, those rewards become very, very valuable. Even right now, it's a nice reward for updating the network and spending $5, and you're making, for rewards somewhere around, if it's a penny, somewhere around, $80, where, you're spending $5. So it's a great tool in that it allows you to also store data on those master nodes. So if you were a master node owner and you wanted to then use your nodes to plug some type of application into it, you could do that all by yourself. So one of the things is, for us corporate wise, we want to bring corporations in, have them purchase master nodes, then they can then store all their data in decentralized nodes in a network that they own. They're called quorums, master node quorums. They would actually own the quorum. And they can then distribute the data across their own node network, and you can have your own essentially self-sustaining environment, because those nodes provide you with a reward. That reward is in PAC as well as YAN tokens, which you'll also get 100 YAN tokens, which YAN tokens are used to secure data space on our network. So, that's another bonus of being a masternode owner. On top of that, I haven't even touched this. It's just speaking about our blockchain in general. We are now a Y asset on the Flare network. So there will be, if you opt in as a masternode holder, you'll also earn Spark or Flare tokens in return for supporting the network and transactions on the Flare network. So that's kind of what we do, though. So you could take any type of project you could think of or application, including say AWS, and you could just plug them directly into our network and have the full decentralized distributed network. So our end game goal isn't to defeat anybody, but I would love to have, say, Google Drive, AWS, one of these major companies say, hey, look, it makes sense for us to plug into your network, not try and reinvent the wheel. They're not going to get 22,000 decentralized nodes overnight globally. They'll be centralized nodes. They'll probably end up having to put them on single servers. They'll have to spend close to $1 billion to get the type of network that we have already in sales. Why do all that when all you have to do is plug into it? And it's simple. It'll be a simple API, easy to do. Anybody will be able to plug into it. So that's our end game goal, is to just have companies plug directly into us and use our network. So
would you guys do that? I mean, because when I hear that terrifies me, because I'm scared of Google, and I wouldn't want to do that if that in any way compromised the decentralization of.
No, because the thing is, you can't be when the network is decentralized by design and in nature. So there's no way to centralize the authority. So
Okay.
when that data gets distributed across the node network, those nodes are owned by individual owners, but those individual owners that own those nodes have zero access to that data.
It would
If
be
you,
nice, Lisa, because in a way they would be just a customer, just like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
would be
yeah,
scary if they started buying one too many master nodes, okay?
yeah. Listen, my thing is like
And
if
we would
they,
be
if
like, hey, Google, stop. PAC is
Yeah.
for the people.
yeah, I feel like if they don't, at some point here in the very near future, people are either going to plug into the decentralized networks or they're going to get left behind because it's going to be so much more cost efficient as well. Think about it. You have this massive server network, right? This massive, massive network. Who's paying for that network? Like,
No,
who's paying? My thing is like on our network as a company, we don't have an overhead to pay for the network. The network's up and running. The network is the master node network. It's just everybody could just plug in. There's no cost. So essentially, it's just a plug and play, and we don't have the overhead of the standard single server model, which is fantastic, you know, and it also gives us the flexibility to plug anybody in, which is really, you know, the thing that I'm most proud of. And then the NFT space as well, it's just going to get people the added security they need to actually own their NFTs, which is a big problem right now. And you know what it is? You just haven't seen that major Cryptopia type hack yet of one of
I
these
had no
platforms.
idea about that. That's the first time I had heard that you weren't actually like having that into the metadata. And like Mom A had said, then you have to send the actual,
Yeah.
I know.
JPEG or send the actual artwork. So
I
I think
mean,
that's huge.
in some cases, I know some friends that are more tech, you know, and they will do it themselves, like the professor, you know, Mitch from Campground. They
Yeah.
will use a separate program, then they'll break, you know, they'll put the file up in the internet somewhere, and then they'll break that down into metadata, and then they'll add that into the file.
Mhm.
So, you know, you try to shortcut that, the fact that you didn't have the capability. So I would say some very wise artists and creators were able to do that, you know, using outside apps and other websites and things. However, having everything kind of put together for you and with your wallet is really nice, because that way you have ownership of it all and it's very user friendly. So I'm excited to try it out, Jason, to be honest with you,
Yeah,
because
please.
I'm in the process of taking my artwork in different blockchains and experiment. I love diving into decentralized platforms. On social media, for example, I'm not even missing Facebook or Instagram today because I'm literally mainly on decentralized social media anyways.
Mm.
And now I'm diving into NFTs. I already tried the Ethereum network, but of course, I'm not crazy to mint right now. I'm not going to pay that crazy
The
or
fees
high
are too high. Yeah.
gas fee.
Yeah. We don't
So
have those fees, by the way. Our fees are 0.013 pack, which is, you
there
know,
you go. My mission now is to basically mint one or two art pieces from me and maybe from the artists that I kind of help in several blockchains, and see where is our niche to, which public likes our work the most. So I'm very open-minded in that sense of giving it a try and having fun with it. Some things I love and I stick with, some things I just don't enjoy and I move on, bypass it. And
yeah.
something improve later on and I come back. Like sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm not getting a hang of it now, but then I see some updates and then I'm like, hey, now I'm excited about. So I know it takes time, you know, that developing a network takes time. It's not
Oh,
like
yeah. Yeah. It takes time, and you pull your hair out doing it. So it's a lot of tedious labor, but we've got really good developers. So they make everybody else's life a lot easier on the team, having some really talented devs. So, you know, that I'm very proud of.
It's a really positive community online on, crypto Twitter and on the support team as well. So I advise everybody to check it out, do your own research. Goxstein is hilarious to follow on Twitter.
My guy.
Yeah, great guy. So the whole team is really, really strong, really intelligent, and very positive. I think it's a strong community. It's the wolf pack. So my husband's trying to come up with some clever. He bought a new truck because he's wanting to buy a boat. So he's trying to come up with some clever license plate thing for his new truck that has to do with PAC.
Oh, nice.
And,
I love that.
oh yeah, he's obsessed with PAC. My
I
husband
love
is
it.
like
I love it.
the PAC man.
Is he coming to Jersey? Is he going to be out to Jersey?
He will
with
not
you?
drive that
Okay.
far, so he's not coming to Jersey.
Okay.
I'm coming to Jersey by myself. Well, with Westwood
Well, with the
and
crew,
Mitchie
yeah,
and the crew,
with the
yeah.
crew, yeah, with the
Yeah,
crew.
so I'll be in Jersey celebrating my birthday, and I'm going to be giving
even
a
better.
bunch of stuff away for my birthday. And we'll be at the Doghouse Saloon on October 15th. And then we are going to have a Crypto 101 class the next day on the 16th. And all the information's at clintwestwood.net. You guys can find out more about that. But hopefully that's the first time I met Jason. He was buying people beer with PAC.
It's correct.
At the Bitcoin Bend meetup. And that's where I met, that's the first time I think I met Mom May too. Weren't you there, Mom May?
Where?
I remember in Jersey, and Becca, was it Becca that brought the little Litecoin cookies? Or the
oh, you know what? Actually, I didn't. I met her in San Diego, but I never been to Jersey on a meetup.
Okay, I'm thinking of Becca and Kat. I think I met them the first time there.
Probably.
And
I met you. I think it was the Litecoin Summit in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it was the Litecoin Summit. So yeah, very, very exciting.
But we'll definitely one day have a big get together, you know.
We will.
For one of those again, you know.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Right, back to some normalcy again, right?
Yeah.
We're getting there. It's getting crazier first.
It has to get crazier first. You gotta be able to see it first.
Yeah.
But with some solutions like, the things that PAC's coming up with, and I think that's where we have to go, is get away from these centralized things like the CBDCs and things like Facebook and all that, and find these decentralized solutions where we can have our freedom, own our own data. And that's where we can have, some true normalcy where we have our freedom and we can make those choices for ourselves. So Jason, thanks for joining us. Mame, thank you for everything. We'll see you guys all later. Check out all the links in the description. You guys, there's more information about PAC. I'll put a couple more links in there for you guys. There's also the link to buy the magazine that is tokenized, so you can get a digital version of that. It has all Mame's artwork in it. It has my article and some more great stuff in it.
You need to upload those to Yon DNA.
Right.
On your data.
I
on your
know.
data.
We have a lot. I
Come
know.
on.
It's beautiful. We have a lot of it. We have it showcased in the magazine inside.
You could share that with people as well, right on our network right now. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, and this is just the first issue. Charlene has commissioned me to do all the covers. So we have them coming more and more. So really exciting stuff coming up. Thank you.
That's awesome.
It's going to be great. All right, you guys, take care, and we will see you guys tomorrow on The New Normal. I'm going to have a double treat for you. We've got Amy Fulmer coming back to finish up more information on the Arizona audit, and Satoshi Sean will be here with us. So double great day tomorrow on The New Normal. Be right back. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.